Hello, I am Richard A. Boxall, and this is my short and almost daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily-ish.
You're listening to the diary of a wannabe writer, Season 3.
Hello, today is Tuesday the 30th of June 2026. Welcome to the show. Now, I did have a funny feeling you either weren't going to get a podcast or it was going to be a nil return, like I've been doing a lot recently. I spoke to you yesterday. I'd had a couple of drinks. I've listened to it back, and I don't sound ridiculous, but anyway, I really struggled to sleep that night. The one problem with, I should have basically gone to bed when I got to the hotel, because I think it was 8:30, 9 o'clock by the time I was comfortably in my room, and if I just allowed sleep to take me then, I probably would have managed to sleep. But the problem was, the more I stayed awake, the more my body was reminded, well, actually, the time you came from is actually 7 hours different from now. So although you think it's your body, the local time says it's 2, 3 in the afternoon, your body's actually thinking it's, I'm really confused. I don't know what my train of thought was going to go there. And normally I'd just stop and start again, but I'm not going to bother. Let me try and work out what I was trying to say. Although it was in the evening, my body was thinking it was still lunchtime or 3 in the afternoon, and therefore after I got a certain point I couldn't get to sleep. So I didn't sleep very well last night, and then this morning I kind of woke up at about 9 o'clock local time, which is in the morning, which was about 2 a.m. British time, and just thought, nah. And I didn't do much today. I went out and did some shopping. I did go and have some lunch. But other than that, all I've really done today was read and sleep. I finished reading Soul Music by Terry Pratchett, and I have to say, I can see why it's taken me a long time to finish it. There were bits of it that were very good, and there were bits of it that I just didn't get and really didn't make sense. And the other thing I read a bit more of today was I'm reading Murakami's 1Q84. The Folio Society edition, and indeed some of the paperback versions, are split into, it's 3 books were released in the original version. But most of the versions available now, including the Folio Society one, have books 1 and 2 in volume 1, and then book 3 in volume 2. And I was able, and these Folio Society books are massive, and I actually managed to finish the first book, or the first volume, which contains the first 2 out of the 3 books, before I left, so I only had to bring the final volume with me. So I read a bit of that today as well. I read about 10% of that. No, more than 10%. Oh, anyway, it doesn't matter as a percentage. But I didn't think I was going to get any writing done. And then I sort of slept on and off. My sleep has been fitful and rubbish, and I've still got to now try and get some sleep before the flight to Sydney, which is tomorrow. So next time you hear from me, all being well, I'll be in Australia. Is that right? That must be right, yeah. That feels like I've done something wrong with the maths. That feels weird, but no, it must be. It must be about right, yeah. Because they're 9 hours. Oh, we'll work it out. If I cock it up and miss a podcast, I cock it up and miss a podcast. But I think, let me just have a look on my diary, because that's all in UK time. Let's have a look. So today we fly. Yeah. So UK time, it's about 1:20 we leave, and then we're due to land at about 9 p.m. Yeah, so by the time we're at the hotel, which should be by 10 o'clock, say 10:30, that still gives me time to record a podcast. Yeah, so that does make sense. Sorry, I was having a little brain moment. But then I woke up this evening, and I mean, the time I'm in now, it's technically tomorrow morning, but I always record these podcasts so they tie up with UK time, and it's 5 to 11 at night at home. And I suddenly thought, I'm going to be really pissed off with myself if I either don't do the podcast or just turn around and say, I've done nothing today. But the problem is, the bedroom I'm in, the room I'm in, isn't really conducive to writing. I don't find it easy to write in here, unless I do a live stream, but I wasn't in the mood to do that. And of course, being this late at night, there are coffee shops that are open, and I could have gone to one, but I wasn't in the mood. But we've got a little shared lounge we can use at the hotel. So I went up there, and of course this time of night there was nobody else up there. In fact, every time I've been to it over the last little while, over the last few visits, there has been nobody. I think on one occasion another member of crew wandered in because there's tea and coffee facilities and stuff. I think on one occasion another member of crew wandered up. Anyway, the thing I'm taking my time to get around to saying is I went up there and I wrote the first 1,300 words of chapter 29, and that's the extra scene. It's the one I suddenly realised I would have to add, having written chapter 28. And it's done, and it's there, and it makes sense, and it's a bit horrible, but, what do you expect? And then it leaves me now in the place to continue writing chapter 29. So I don't know how productive I'm going to be on this trip. I don't know whether I'm going to get it done. I'd like to, but I just got this feeling. I don't know. We'll see. But it was a good start. So the next chapter, I've got the outline for basically, because there's only 31 chapters in the whole piece. So once I've finished this chapter, I've only got 2 more chapters to write. There is no good reason for me to not to be able to write them whilst I'm off in July, but we shall see how I get on. That would be a nice thing to be able to achieve, though. But certainly the stuff I got written tonight, it's fine. I mean, obviously I'll edit it when I get around to doing the screen edits and paper edits. But it's a step in the right direction. Tomorrow, I won't have done any writing. I wouldn't have thought any more. Well, unless... Because we're still not... let me look at this. 14 hours, I think, until... when are we picked up? Let me just have a look. So it is... I'm confusing myself now again. We're picked up in about 11 and a half hours. So, 12 and a half hours. So there's a possibility I'll do some writing before then, if I'm in the mood. We shall see. But other than that, hopefully, all being well, you'll hear from me tomorrow. What is for me tomorrow evening? Sorry, it will actually be the next day, but for you tomorrow evening from Sydney. God, probably from another hotel room because my hip was sore today, so I didn't get out and do much. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm getting paid and I'm getting the job done and I'm getting some writing done. So yippee, thank you for listening. Take care. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, presented by me, Richard A. Boxall. Thank you for tuning in to my cogitative considerations, and if you'd like to know more about me or my projects, visit my link tree on linktr.ee/Richard Writes. Capital R, capital W. Thank you for listening.